Welcome to all my friends and family, and welcome to Jim's 5am Club. It's a beautiful Saturday morning. It started off overcast, but it's brightened up and it's turning into an awesome spring morning. It's full tide, as you can see, and the ferries are on the move here at Circular Quay. And it's Saturday. Can't beat Saturdays. Best day of the week, I reckon. Anyway, let's go on a bit of a walk and talk, and have a chat about a book summary that I've recently read. And it's a book on leadership, and it's entitled The Decision by Kevin Hart. And I did a book summary the other day detailing some of the negative emotions that we need to purge from our lives in order to make the most of our futures and of our abilities to make the right decisions. And what I want to do today is just spend a bit of time going through the mental toughness items that Kevin Hart talked about in his book. And he talks about 15 things. So what I'll do is I'll just quickly go through the 15 things and then just pick a couple to talk about. So the first item is positive mindset. The second is what isness. The third one is being consistent. Fourth one is reliability, being reliable. Determination is the next one. Then he has an item called cowboying up. And cowboying up is all about being tough and just sticking to the task. Then he's got another one which he calls teddy bearing, and teddy bearing is just being nice to those around you and bringing out the best in the people around you. Then he goes on to talk about dissatisfaction, the importance of being positive, being happy, but always having a sense of dissatisfaction which keeps you moving along. He talks about number 9, which is non-reactivity, so not reacting to things in our lives, but responding. He talks then about the self-generating power in order to be a self-starter. Number 11 is sponginess. Sponginess is all about being willing to learn and to be willing to absorb and gain new knowledge, new techniques and new skills. Then relatability is being able to relate to people and having empathy and be able to relate to situations. The next one is keeping your eye on the prize, so beginning with the end in mind. Number 14 is being able to put up with things, to understand that this is how things are, and to be able to put up with things and put up with disappointment for as long as you need in order to achieve your goals. And the last one is being humble and having the skill of being open and able to deal with life, and to accept your station in life and the things that you can change and the things that you can't change. So what we'll do is we'll pick a couple of these just to talk about. And I guess one of the key ones is being consistent. One of the most important things in our lives is being able to maintain a consistency and stick to things. And people in general want people to be consistent so that you know who you're dealing with and you're not surprised every time you engage with that person. And I remember years ago, Greg Norman said that he trained really, really hard to get to the top. And then when he was at the top, he trained really hard just to stay there. And from a golfing perspective, being consistent is a key thing. Having a consistent swing, having a consistent stance, having a consistent way of doing things. And you see it in tennis, you see it through Nadal. You know, he'll tap the ball down a number of times, and he'll pull his underpants out of his backside, and then he'll serve. And he's got his little routine, but that enables him to have consistency in his life, and he builds on that. The other thing they talk about here is determination, and we know how key it is to be determined and to be focused and to really want to stick to achieving your outcomes. The term cowboying up, I've never heard that term used before. It's an unusual term, but according to Kevin Hart, cowboying up is about, you know, manning up or womaning up and just being able to have the guts, the determination and the willingness to continue along a path regardless of how many ups and downs and turns and challenges you have along the way. The other one that is a real catch for me is this item of dissatisfaction. And what they mean by this is that you need to go through life and to be happy with the outcomes in terms of what you're doing, but also to have a sense of dissatisfaction and unfulfillment. Because what they say is that by being dissatisfied and by being slightly underwhelmed or unfulfilled, that's what you need. That's the magic magnet to help you draw things to you and to work even harder to achieve the things that you want to achieve in your life. So a sense of dissatisfaction, not always being satisfied, but just having a little sense of dissatisfaction is probably the magic item that you need in order to continue along the path and to continue pushing in your life to get the sort of things that you're looking to achieve. Self-generating power is another skill that we need to adopt, and this is basically having initiative, not needing other people to tell you what to do, not needing other people to micromanage you and be on your back in order to achieve and do your job. Now, this is an important item for young people to understand, and I came across this when I was at IBM, and they talked about it at IBM as being a professional, being a person who can be relied on to do the staff work and not to be asked by the manager time and time again, have you done this, have you done that, have you considered this, have you considered that? Because you basically need to think like your manager, to think like your customer, and to second guess what they need, what they want, and what the expectation is, and to achieve that and to exceed that expectation time and time again. Because by having this sense of urgency and having the ability to read their minds and to act before you're told is one of those things that will propel you into senior management, senior leadership, and will give you more treasures in your life than what you could ever hope to achieve. Sponginess. I've never heard of this term used before, but sponginess is all about being coachable, being teachable. The thing that I've learnt over my life is that you can waste your time with certain people because certain people just aren't interested. They aren't interested in changing. They aren't interested in learning. They are fixed in their ways. They are fixed in their mindset. Inexorokefali. They're hard-headed. So just don't waste your time trying to convince, cajole, or influence these sorts of people, because you're just wasting your time, you're wasting your effort, and you're better off just identifying. And I've learnt through the years, through martial arts, through sport, through a whole host of things, when you come across people, the first thing you need to ask yourself is, Are they coachable? Are they teachable? And if they're not, then don't bother. Don't bother wasting your time engaging with them, because it's just going to be one-way traffic. They're not going to take anything in, and they're not going to give anything out either. So, and for young people, it's important to understand, have a thirst for learning, have a thirst for knowledge, have a thirst for comparing and contrasting what you know with what other people know, so that you can attach the unknown to the known. You can build from your baseline and be willing to stand and step outside your comfort zone in order to grow and develop. Don't sit back. Don't be negative or unresponsive to people around you. But by all means, for those who have got a thirst for learning, seek out good mentors and learn from them. And those who are teachers, you've got to know the student needs to appear in order to for the teacher to express themselves and to enhance the student's lifestyle and abilities and knowledge. And I think the last one I want to talk about from this book is the put up with things. Now, not everything is going to go our way. Not everything's going to be easy. The world is not going to change because we want the world to change. And there are some things, there are some people, there are some circumstances that we just need to learn to put up with. We just need to look for the positive in each and every one of those things and each of those people, and just understand that we just need to put up with it. It's not going to change. So accept it. Accept it for what it is, and maximize whatever you can through your acceptance. And don't overthink it, don't overwill it, and don't expect ducks to become eagles. We need to be realistic to a certain point and to cut our losses. Don't stick to things if it's just a waste of time, and if it's going to continue to be a loss-making exercise from a time perspective, from an effort perspective, and from a financial perspective. Learn to fold your cards when you need to fold them. Learn to cut away people who need to be cut away, who are not serving you, or that people that you can't serve because of their hard-headedness or their lack of interest. And that's about it, I think, from this book. So thank you very much for joining me on this edition of Jim's 5am Club. I look forward to chatting to you again tomorrow from a different location, with hopefully a different message and a different opportunity to share some of our experiences, a book summary, an observation, a song. Who knows what it'll be tomorrow, but I look forward to coming to you again. To my friends and family, stay connected, stay relevant, and most importantly, let's take on board some of these mental toughness capabilities that Kevin Hart detailed in his book, The Decision, and make the most of our decisions, make the most of our opportunities, and enjoy the rest of this beautiful day, because as we've said time and time again, this day will never come back again. So whatever you capture today is something that you've captured, and whatever you miss out today is something that will never ever come back to you. Yassas, take care, and continue to be life learners and to attach the unknown to the known. Bye for now from Jim's 5am Club.